Janvi Appalla, and in today's video, we are going to learn about objects and classes. I know we have already covered objects and classes in the previous video, but this would be just a more clarity based video. Here, we would be just using the concept of objects and classes and we'll be writing code in BlueJ. Let's get into the video. So, first, what is the basic introduction? What are objects and classes? They are just the foundation of object-oriented programming. Second, it is used to model real-world entities in software. That means whatever is present in outside world, we are just converting it into the software version. This is what the basic introduction about objects and classes is. Now, what is a class? In the previous video, as I have already told you, what is a class? A class is nothing but a blueprint using which we can create many objects. What does a class consist of? Class consists of data members or variables and member methods or functions. So a class is nothing but just a combination of data members and member methods together. Okay. Now, coming to the example. Here you can see that there is a class car and it has two things. One is string color, second is void start. Till now, you would have understood that string color is the data member and void start is the function. Always see to it that whenever there is an open and closed round brackets, it means it is a function. So here, class is a car. So here, car is a class. Why? Because it has two things. One is a data member, which is string color, and a member function, which is void start. I hope till here you would have understood what a class is. Let me just give you a small clarity again. A class is nothing but just a blueprint. It occupies no space in the memory. It is just a template using which we create objects. We can create multiple objects. And again, a class is nothing but just a combination of two things. Data members of variables, member methods are functions. Coming to the next part, why do we need classes? Classes are needed just to combine the data and member methods together. It organizes data and methods. Second thing, it improves code reusability. I'll explain you this in the coming videos. Third thing, provides security using encapsulation. As the data is inside an object or a class, the data is secure. That's why here the security is provided. And what is encapsulation? Encapsulation is nothing but combining the data and its methods together. Right? Why classes? It helps us to create multiple objects easily. These are the reasons why we need classes in Java. What is object? An object is a real instance of class. Why is it called real instance? Real instance because when a class is created, nothing of real sort is made or discovered, or no space is given or allocated to the class in the memory. But when an object is created, a particular amount of memory is allocated to the object. Thus, an object is called as a real instance of class, whereas the class is called as an object factory. And here is the syntax for object that you write car C1 is equal to new car, which means car is the class name, C1 is the object name, new is the word which gives the object the allocation of memory in the computer. So due to this new keyword, an object gets its memory in the computer. Now here C1 is an object of a class car. There are some rules for naming a class. First being, your class name should always start with an uppercase letter. Second, it should not use any keywords. Keywords like the reserved words, the words which are for a specific purpose in Java. For example, break statement, continue statement, if, else, switch, for loop, and whatever those keywords are. You cannot use it as your class name. Third is no special symbols except underscore. You cannot use at the rate, dollar, hyphen, and all. Fourth is your class name should be meaningful. Like there should be some meaning in that class name. It cannot be anything random. Now, let me give you some valid examples. So, as you can see, student, as it is starting with capital S, it is a valid example. Bank account, B is capital, employee, E is capital. All these names have some meaning in them. Now, coming to invalid examples, one student, as I mentioned you that your class name should always start with an uppercase letter and not with some numbers. Second is class. Why is class not used? Because it is a keyword. Third, employee hyphen name. We cannot use special characters. That's why employee name is not a valid example. Now, let me take you to BlueJ to make you understand the simple class and object relationship in the code format. So let me create a new class here. The class name is school. Now, yeah, this is a valid name. Now let's just open it. Here we will be removing this entire code thing. Now here we will be writing class student. Class student can have many variables or data in its name. I'll be taking here string name to store the name of the student, and then int marks. And here we will be writing a function which would be used to display this. That is, this function will display the information of the student. That is, it will display marks of the student. It will display the name of the student. So here we will be writing name of the student, which will be, let me just give a small space here, which will be name. And then again, we will be copying the same sentence, but this time we will be printing marks of the student. Here instead of name, we will be writing marks. And here also we will write marks. So this is what it is. Now here we have got the class student, string name and int marks are the data members, and this void display is the member method. Now here we will need a main function. So this public class school is the main class. In a single program, there can be many classes. So here we will be writing public static void main string arguments, and here with this we can first here we'll have to make the object of the class student. So student s1 is equal to new student, and then we will write s1 dot name is equal to my name, and as it is a string we will be using double quotes, and then s1 dot marks, let's just put it 100, and here we just want to display it. So s1 dot display. So using this dot operators, you call the functions inside the class with the help of objects. Now let's just run it. So here we can see name of the student is Jahani and marks of the student is 100. So I hope you would have understood what this class and object relationship is. You would have understood that class student has two things. One is the data members and the second one is the member function. And here we have a public static void main without main function. A code is of no use. So a compiler will always search for the main function to compile the code. Now, coming to the next part, till now, I think you would have understood what class and object means. Now, what is message passing in objects? Message passing in objects is nothing but how two objects communicate with each other. So here, what does this mean? One object communicates with another object by calling its methods. This is called as message passing, and this is how message passing happens in objects. So here, one object will call the methods of second object. This is what message passing means. So message passing in objects is nothing but just a way of communicating with the another object using its methods. So let me give you a small example for this. let's just delete this and we will create another class which is called as demo. Let's just make two classes. One would be called as teacher class and the another would be called as class student. Let's just make class student. And here we will not include any data members. We will just be including a function which is void study, because the duty of a student is just to study. That's why a student. So here we will be writing student is studying. And then we will make another class which is class teacher. So here we will be writing void teach. And here we will take student s as input and s dot study. So here only you would have understood that we are calling another object's function inside some another object. This is what message passing means. So here we will have public static void main, and here we will make two objects. One would be student s1 is equal to new student, and then teacher t1 is equal to new teacher. Now here we will be calling t1 dot teach s1. So if you see that whenever t1 dot teach s1 will be called, internally s dot study would be called. So if you see, with the help of one object, we are able to call the function of another object. This is what message passing means. That here we have a study function which is called inside the teacher class, and with the help of this dot teach function, the teacher function is able to call s dot study. This is what message passing means. This is how internally Java for message passing works. That one function calls another function of another object inside itself. This is what message passing means. I hope you would have understood till here. So here if you see, teacher asks student to study. That is, teacher will take input of student object as an input and it will send the message. And the student will perform the action of studying. This is what it is. Now let me just run this for you. So here you should print student is studying. So this is what we expected. Now coming to the conclusion, in this video we learned in more detail about classes and objects with the example of code. Second is we understood the concept of message passing in objects. I hope you would have understood this video. If you would have understood the video and felt it is very much helpful for your studies, do like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is ICC Java Made Easy. Thank you. Thank you so much.